You are watching East Tennessee's first and only year-round sports talk show on television. This is The Sports Source with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning and welcome into The Sports Source. Like Butch Jones' program, we built it brick by brick, this new set. We're happy to be here. We're happy to have you join us on a game day. This is our kickoff to our 12th football season covering the Vols. We have a packed house today in honor of our 12th season. We got 12 people who are going to be part of this show. We're going to have everything from game previews to a little bit of fun. So hope you will hang with us and enjoy this as we get ready for Team 118's debut this evening against Utah State. Let's get this show underway by telling you about our good friends at Phil Cobble, Fine Homes and Land. Are you looking for your dream home? Trust the boutique realtor in East Tennessee, Phil Cobble. Call the number that is right on your screen right there, and you're going to get Phil himself. This week's showcase home is a beautiful English, Tudor, and stone-style home in the Foxden subdivision of Farragut. Recreation room that's huge, vaulted sunroom, you name it, they got it. Beautiful home. Tons of beautiful homes when you call Phil Cobble, Fine Homes and Land. Again, his number is going to be on the desk in front of us for this entire segment. When you call him, you're going to get Phil himself. Call him and his team. They'll take care of you. All right. Want to welcome in the panelists for the first segment today. Again, it's going to be like a hockey game. We're changing lines throughout the show. Bob Hodge right here, freelance contributor to the Knoxville News Sentinel. Jimmy Himes, who of course hosts Sports Talk Monday through Friday on the Sports Animal 99.1 and 990. Former Vol defensive end, Will Overstreet right there, NFL player as well. And then right there, Chuck Cavaleris, Tennessee Golf Central, but longtime coverer of the Vols football team. All right, let's talk a little bit here in our opening drive segment about the Utah State team. All right, we've been building them up. I think a lot of people have been saying, look, beware, this can be a dangerous squad. And one of the reasons we've done that, you look at their record. I think we have this graphic. Their record on the road, there you go, no fear of big stages. That's the last 5 years where they've gone on the road against FBS teams and played well, against BCS teams, I should say, and played well. You also look over the last 31 games, they are 23-8, Tennessee 12-19. Now the competition's a little different, but still, this program knows how to win. Your thoughts on Utah State and the danger they pose for Tennessee this evening?
Big danger. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it is a big danger for Tennessee. The graphic you just showed gives you an indication that when they go on the road, they're not intimidated. They've got a really good quarterback, a mobile quarterback. That's been difficult for Tennessee. They've got experienced players at a lot of different positions. Their defense was ranked #1 in the Mountain West Conference in about 5 different categories last year. I think this is a big challenge.
I would feel better about this game if it was next year. I may be better about 11 o'clock, but right now I feel pretty good. But I would feel better about it if it was next year because of what Jimmy just said. This is an experienced team. They lost a lot of guys from last year, but they're experienced. They don't get intimidated. I wonder if some of Tennessee's players will be intimidated. It's the first time a lot of these guys have started in Neyland Stadium. So I think it's going to be a scary, scary game.
Well, I think that's the biggest problem with Tennessee. You know, Butch Jones doesn't know what he really has coming out there. When you have this many young players or this many guys with no experience, that first game is always scary because there are great practice players, but then when they get in front of 100,000 and the lights cut on, some people shy away from that moment. There are other guys that you didn't think were as great in practice, and they can become that guy in the game day. But when you're going up against that first game, every team and every coach is wondering really what do they have because you've only seen them against each other. Once you get back in that first game, you really don't know. And with a team that does have experience coming in, and especially a quarterback that is mobile and has shown the ability to win games with his feet and with his arm, you're looking at a really big challenge for this Tennessee team.
Chuck?
Yeah, I can't remember a season opener where you've had this many questions going into it for Tennessee. And you showed the graphic, John. They've been close. They being Utah State have been close in a lot of games, but they haven't had that breakthrough victory. And for them, I mean, this is a great opportunity, the biggest stage they can have to have that chance.
Well, it's the kind of situation where gamblers, and I know you know nothing about that, where gamblers might look at them and say they're due.
Exactly.
That's the thing. I also want to look. One reason they're going to pose a threat to Tennessee is because Chucky Keaton, their quarterback, if he's healthy, returning from a very bad ACL tear, if he's healthy, he's going to be a dual threat. And last year, Tennessee had some major problems with dual threat quarterbacks, as you see right there. You see the rushing numbers, 44 yards, 90 yards, 75 yards. 60, 96, 117 for Matty Mock. Marshall 221, 44 for Robinette. One that I had forgotten was the day that Matheny had for South Alabama. 75 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 234 passing. So anybody that's sitting there right now thinking, yeah, well, this is Utah State. Well, South Alabama ran around on you a little bit. And then you look at Keaton's numbers specifically, which we have over his 3 seasons right there. 2011, 2012, 2013. Now, last year he was injured for most of the year. But you see, averages 30 to 50 yards per game rushing, depending on how many times he runs the thing. A lot of rushing touchdowns. And look at those passing yards numbers and the passing touchdowns. He had 18 in about 6 games last year. This guy is dangerous.
He's very similar to the Oregon quarterback, Marcus Mariota, and that's what Tennessee players have been saying. I mean, you got to respect the fact that he can buy some time too, much like Kenny Hill did at Texas A&M against South Carolina, to give those receivers that 1 or 2 extra seconds to get wide open.
Yeah.
His completion percentage suggests he's a better passer than Mariota too, because he was up around 69% before he got hurt. His touchdown to interception ratio last year of 18-2 was incredible before he got hurt. And he's got some good receivers to go with him. So I think it's going to be a huge challenge for Tennessee. And I'll bet you that Utah State, right off the bat, is going to test Tennessee on the edge.
Well, go ahead.
I think one thing that's going to help Tennessee on the edge, though, is you've got Vereen is now a sophomore, and he was good as a freshman, and a healthy Kirk Magid could also make a huge difference, because I thought since he was a freshman, when he is healthy, he might be the best defensive player that you have on the team. So if you got Vereen a little bit more experience and Magid is healthy, I think that's going to help Tennessee on the edge.
And Will, so many teams last year had success against Tennessee on the perimeter, getting outside contain. Tennessee's faster now.
Yep.
They may not be lined up in the right spots today, but speed cures a lot of things. In terms of recovery speed, how big of a difference do you think that can play in helping Tennessee against a mobile quarterback?
Well, it's going to be very huge, because you definitely need the speed, and for that, when one guy makes a mistake on the defensive line, you've got to have a linebacker or somebody else that can come in around him and basically cover for him. But that is the one challenge that this unit has. Even though you've got some talented pass rushers that I think are probably the best Tennessee's had in several years, one-on-one in a pass rush, you beat your guy. If you miss on the quarterback, all of a sudden now that's when he's really dangerous. Really, to play a great quarterback like this, all 4 guys in the front line have to be playing a box game together, which means sometimes you may see a move you can make and get to the quarterback, and you don't make it because if you miss or somebody else is not there to back you up, that's the big play that happens, whether he's running or he gives him just a little bit more time to get outside and throw the ball deep.
And John, I think with Tennessee's speed and athleticism, they're going to probably have more good defensive plays. But I think because of their youth, they're going to give up some big plays too.
And they gave up big plays by the bushel last year, numbers-wise. They ranked near the bottom of the SEC in terms of giving 20-yard plays allowed, 30-yard plays allowed, 40-yard plays allowed. And you do have to hope that even though you may give up a few of those, you won't give up quite as many. Because, again, it's that recovery speed that you didn't have last year. The only fear you have is these guys have looked fast in practice. These guys look fast in high school. These guys look fast when a guy's got a clock timing them. We haven't seen them in a college football game yet. Right. So all this speed we're talking about, it's still hypothetical. So we got to see it this evening. I want to say thanks to some folks. Hey, and let me tell you, we have a jam-packed show. We got some special guests coming out. We got 4 more VFLs who are going to be joining the show. But I want to take some time right now to thank the folks who built this incredible set for us. Benedict Construction. You can see it. Our last show there, we had all those former Vols on that last show. There's the original design drawn up on a cocktail napkin. Then you see where they started doing the work, and it goes all the way through. You can kind of punch through these. There you go. As the old set was taken apart and the new one was put together, Dan Benedict and Al Helton and their team was just spectacular. Let me tell you, folks, if you are in the market for a house, den, deck, man cave, they can build it. I mean, they've turned this into a lodge, which was our initial goal. They did it on time and they did it on budget. Now, when do you ever hear that about a construction team? Benedict Construction, they do fabulous work. Also want to say thanks to the folks here at WATE. What a tremendous open arms they've met us with over the last couple of weeks, allowing all the hammering, the sawing, everything else. Really appreciate what they've done from us, from Dean Littleton, the general manager, to Jamie Foster, the news director, Tom McCoy, studio manager, David Randall, art director. All these guys did a great job for us. And also want to point out one last bit of thanks. and that's to our family of sponsors. This year we've got 10 folks or 11 folks who are with us. Right there you see them: Fast Frame, McDonald's, Madisonville Marine, Nova Copy, Ogle Rod and Brill, Phil Cobble Fine Homes and Land, Secret City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Smokin' Joe's, Southeast Termite and Pest Control, Stern AG and Tennova Healthcare. If you like this show, and we're starting our 12th year, so some of you out there must, I want you to visit those sponsors because they're the ones behind this thing. And then last, thanks to you. You deserved this set upgrade. We hope you like it. We'll be bringing you more stuff, like an 82-inch touchscreen monitor, in the weeks to come. It's going to be fun this season. Glad you're with us. When we come back, first game jitters from 4 former Vols. We'll talk to them about what you can expect from all these newcomers who are going to be on the field tonight. Plenty more to come as we preview Tennessee-Utah State.
Want your own man cave? Turn to Benedict Construction.